Gatemen were at home at Spillane Field for 2 home games this past week, starting with the Bormann Braves on Thursday night. And these 2 Western Division opponents went back and forth in the early innings, and then Jake Little flashed some fancy glove work in a Wareham loss.
Okay, from the stretch, driven out to right field. That'll get down and score a run. Gavin Collins with a 2-out, 2-strike single, and it's 2-0 Born early on. Rogers from the stretch. Breaking ball again, ripped out to left field. That'll get in. Robertson will score. Here comes Jake Little. We're all tied up at 2 here in the first inning. Similar amounts of starts, appearances, ERAs, innings. 2-2, floated out to right field. It falls in front of Anderson Miller. Around from third comes Mark Laird. It's an RBI single for Billy Fleming, and the Braves lead by 2 once again. It's 4-2. The high school in Indiana because of Tommy John surgery. Felt he just got back to full strength toward the end. Kramer Robertson ties this game up with a single to right field, and Rogers has given up 4 to start it. Win number 7. Here's the 2-2. Off the handle, might have been a broken bat. It is. It floats into center. Little goes to the slide and makes the catch. Jake Little ends the inning. York native, his 2-2. Line drive out to center field. Racing in is Jake Little. He goes to the dive and makes the catch. Jake Little, for the second time tonight, ends an inning with a nice play in center field.
Following Hurricane Arthur, the Gatemen returned home on Saturday night to face off against the Cotuit Kettleers. Kramer Robertson and Keaton Aldridge supplied the early offense, and it proved to be plenty for right-hander Kyle Cody, who settled in after a rough first few innings and spun 8 solid innings of work. And Scott Efros closed out the 7-3 win, and the Gatemen topped the Kettleers for the 3rd time this summer.
Robertson with a fly ball to right field. It sends Rhett Wiseman all the way back, still going, and that lands on the base of the wall, rolls around, and Kramer Robertson with a 1-out double here in the first. That ball kept going. Round in the Cape League. 3-1, and this is driven out to right field. One hops the wall. Robertson got a late jump. He turned back towards second, but that's enough to score him anyway. Keaton Aldridge with an RBI double. Back-to-back 2 baggers for the Gatemen, and we're knotted up at 1. Round in the Cape League. 3-1, and this is driven out to right field. One hops the wall. Robertson got a late jump. He turned back towards second, but that's enough to score him anyway. Keaton Aldridge with an RBI double. Back-to-back 2 baggers for the Gatemen, and we're knotted up at 1.
The 1-0 to Robinson. Hits that one up the middle for a base hit. Scoring Robinson. Gatemen take a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th.
Way to get the offense. 4 hits, and they left the bases loaded as well. Kleins with a line drive to center field. Charlie Warren to the dive. Does he make the grab? He does. We get the signal over from the first base umpire. Charlie Warren snares that sinking line drive off the bat of Jackson Glines. Nicely done. The number 9 man, Drew Jackson. 7-3, the Gatemen lead, top 7. Swing and a miss as Jackson waves over the off-speed delivery. 3 pitches and strikeout number 7 for Kyle Cody, Sean. He comes set, the 2-2. Chases one up high, and Kyle Cody with his 9th strikeout of the night. He's gone 8 innings, and he leaves the game right now with a 4-run advantage. And a solid squad this summer. Unable to break through so far. Ground ball hit to short. This could end the game. Robinson, the off-balance throw is dug out by Hallamadaris, and Wareham wins 7-3. So the Gatemen top the Kettleers for the 3rd time this summer. They improved to 7-14. What a pitching performance from Kyle Cody. 8 innings of 3-run ball, and all 3 runs were scored in the first 3 innings. From that point on, Kyle Cody was outstanding, Megan.
The Gatemen welcome the Hyannis Harbor Hawks to Spillane Field on Friday night. Be sure to catch all the action on WCTV.
I'm joined by Danny Rosenbaum. Danny, today you're facing your teammate Josh Rogers from Louisville. What's that going to be like today at the plate?
Well, I faced him in some sim scrimmages and stuff at school, so I think it'll be pretty good for us.
What are you expecting to see from him today?
He's got a good fastball and 2 good off-speed pitches, so he's definitely a competitor out there, and I'm looking forward to facing him.
All right, well, good luck to you today, Danny.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Corey Ray. Corey, you're facing your teammate today. Josh, what's that going to be like facing him at the plate?
It's going to be good. It could be good or it could be bad. If I do good, I'm definitely going to rub it in his face, though.
I saw you earlier mentioning a little talk to him on Twitter about facing him behind the plate. What's that like, joking around with your teammates now that you're competitors?
It's really great. I'm 1 for 1 off him with a home run, and he doesn't get the chance to play it down.
All right, Corey, what do you expect to see from Josh today?
A lot of fastballs, a lot of in and out, a lot of control, but mostly just a lot of strikes.
All right, well, best of luck to you today, and we'll see you out there.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Drew Harrington. Drew, you won't get the chance to face him at the plate today, but you're facing your teammate, Josh, from Louisville. What's that going to be like now that he's your competitor?
It's going to be fun. Hopefully he'll do a good job on the mound. I'm going to be rooting for him. But obviously, I hope our hitters are able to do a good job against, his fastball and his off speed. So hopefully it works out for everybody.
Now you spend a lot of time in the bullpen and just working out with Josh at school because you're both pitchers. What kind of pitcher is he?
Really, he's really close to the same kind of pitcher I am. The only difference is he doesn't throw quite as hard as me, which I'll make fun of him for that. But he has kind of a low 3/4 arm slot, so he'll have a little bit more movement and stuff. But yeah, really, him and I are pretty close to the same pitcher.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, Drew, and best of luck to you today.
Thank you.
Welcome into this special edition of Around the Horn, where Mike and I are going to sit around and have a little chat over a nice cup of joe about the Wareham Gatemen. And Mike, cheers to better luck for the Gatemen this week. Last week, more struggles we saw. This time, not necessarily totally on the pitching. A lot of the defense. We saw a little bit of a different team changing the lineup. They really thought they could get off to the right foot, started the week off pretty well, and they ended the week with a win, but yesterday back to the same losing ways.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of everything, it feels like, at different times this season. Hitting's been pretty good for the most part, a couple games here and there where it goes quiet, but their pitching's been a problem here and there, but they've also got some great starting pitching recently, and the bullpen's been pretty good. Fielding continues to at times kind of flare up in certain spots, in certain innings, but it still does kind of feel, Megan, like this is a team that, just like that, when you least expect it, could turn it on and put together a couple wins in a row and then be right back in the thick of things.
And exactly, Mike, you and I have been talking about that. We can't really decide if this team has a future or if they don't. Some days they look unstoppable, and other days they look like a little league team, to be quite frank about it. But I think that, it's coming around to the time of the season where every game needs to be a win if they want to advance to the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a big importance now. We're 22 games into the season, and that's the halfway point. It's a 44-game season, and right now they have 7 wins, but it doesn't take a whole lot because Cotuit is the next team in the Western Division, and they're only 2.5 games ahead of Wareham. So the Gatemen could, put together a couple wins this week, and next week we're talking about how they're in 4th place in the Western Division. That's all it takes, and they've had some new guys come in, so I think as, Errol Robinson and Jose Quaz, as they get fully comfortable and the lineup kind of starts to solidify a little bit more, I think we could see this team take off.
I agree with you, Mike, and the sports article we have here, it's the same old song and dance. Gatemen struggle to solidify starting rotation, which you don't really like to see in the paper, but one quote that really stood out is the team spirit is still good. We're still here, and we're still playing hard. That's all we can do, and that was said by manager Cooper Ferris. And you and I can see that day in and day out. Yeah. The chemistry of this team is just unbelievable. For a group of guys that's known each other for, a month now, you would think that they go way back.
Yeah, I was talking about it yesterday with Chris Chenea, one of the catchers on the team, and I said to him, at that point, Wareham was 7-14, and I said, you wouldn't know that they're a 7-14 team just by being around them because the morale is so good. They're all joking with each other. There is great chemistry with this team, and I think, Megan, that's one of the keys for a team to get hot at some point. It's the players have to really enjoy being around each other and playing together, and to go out there every day and just still battling and to hope that they can turn it around. That's definitely one of the best signs this team has going for it.
And Mike, I mentioned before in a game update that Willie Calhoun one night at dinner brought the whole team together and said, guys, things haven't been good, but we can turn it around. The whole team came together in a huddle. So I think it's things like that that really sets the Gatemen apart from other teams. But, looking at the positive, it was a pretty successful week for the Gatemen. Kyle Cody pitched well. I mean, they had the rain out, but there were a lot of good things going around the organization. The kids' camps have gotten started off. The boys are going to the Boys and Girls Club. We went to the library and featured that last week. But it seems like things are really setting in. They're starting to develop that rotation. They looked phenomenal against Cotuit. So I think things are really starting to come around for these guys.
Yeah, in a lot of different areas. And one of the ones I'll focus on, you mentioned it, Kyle Cody, and I think we've seen him pitching like he can be the ace of this staff. And I mean, he's a big-time prospect, and he can throw, in the mid-90s, maybe sometimes 96. I mean, that's a guy that can throw hard. In each of the last 2 starts he's had, Megan, they've been outstanding. He threw 7 shutout innings against Falmouth, then 8 innings of 3-run ball, like you said, in the great game against Cotuit this past weekend. And really, he was so impressive over the last 5 innings of that game. The first few were a little bit rocky, and then he just kept asking for the ball, kept going out there, and kept giving them solid innings, and they kept putting up zeros on the board. And I think that's definitely one of the big developments this past week or 2 is that he's come on very strong.
Yeah, and he's mind over matter. We talked about before in the broadcast how his biggest strength is his mentality, and we saw that when he said, "Give me the ball" in the 8th inning, he came out and he just was fantastic. And that's a guy that you want on your team who is not afraid to say, "Hey, I didn't have a great first inning, but second inning, it's a whole new set of batters, it's a whole new inning, new game, and it's time to go out there and throw." But Mike, I have a question for you. Now, the All-Star game is approaching quickly. What are your early predictions about if there's going to be any Gatemen going to the All-Star game? Kyle Cody, obviously a favorite, but is there anybody else in this team?
I think you have to start with Willie Calhoun. I mean, he has 12 doubles, and while he hasn't had those doubles recently, I mean, all those came in his first 15 games. He's been quiet in that department of late. I mean, he's still way ahead of everybody else in a lot of offensive categories. So I think you start with Willie Calhoun. I think if Kyle Cody keeps pitching like that, he could definitely be there. I think Scott Efros has been one of the best relief pitchers in the entire league. He's a guy that could probably be starting for the Gatemen, but right now he's so valuable coming in at the end of the games. I think probably those 3 would be the starting points for me.
Yeah, I think Willie Calhoun definitely, especially in that DH position, but at second, sometimes costly errors do come up. Kyle Cody, in my mind, without a question, all-star. Scott Efros, I really would like to see him start a game, but at this point in the season for the Gatemen, they need some reliability coming out of that bullpen because there's not a whole lot of reliable guys. And we saw this week them utilizing their catcher as a closer, which was interesting to say the least. And word is that Anderson Miller is working on his throwing as well, so expect to see more of the Gatemen working in that bullpen. But they're really like, hey, you can throw, we'll put you in there. They might throw you and I in the bullpen coming up soon, Mike.
I know. Well, yeah, like you were saying, Keaton Aldridge, he came in and had to throw 2 relief appearances. I think the tough part for the bullpen is they've had to be used so much, and that makes, even if you have a good bullpen, and I think there's a lot of talent in that bullpen, but I think the problem has been that sometimes when they're coming in the 3rd or 4th or even the 5th inning, and they have to keep going, and then it just kind of spirals, and they're coming out in multiple games in a week, and that's tiring on a bullpen, and I think that decreases the performance.
Now this week, you got Bourne tonight. Last time they faced Bourne, looked really good at the start. It faded towards the end. I talked to Jose Quaz afterwards. He told me that it just seemed like they ran out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
They had early, quick responses, and they ran out of gas. And then we saw in Cotuit that same early responses, but it continued throughout the game while Cotuit died out. Second time around facing Bourne, actually the 3rd time around facing Bourne. Do you expect to see anything different than the last?
Yeah, I think they'll come out. I expect them to play a pretty good game. I mean, yesterday against Orleans, so that game was on Sunday, against Orleans, that was a tough loss for the Gatemen, and need to find a way to respond from that. But like we've talked about, this team, I think it has the chemistry and the leaders on the team. I think they do to turn it around.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us here on Coffee Talks with Megan and Mike. We'll be back for more Gatemen news next week. I'm joined by Kramer Robinson. Now, Kramer, second baseman on this Gatemen squad. You're one of just a few players that has not made an error this season. What has been working so well for you in second base role?
Just zoning in every pitch and having fun, not thinking about it, not playing tight, just playing loose and having a good time.
Now, like we said, this team has been dominant offensively. Pitching has been questionable, but defense has also been questionable. And today, usually you guys take early outs, but you spent a little bit more time in the field. What was that like, and how do you expect it to help your game today?
Just toning down some things. You know, we have some new guys, and just working on some bunt coverages and first and thirds and stuff like that some of the new guys didn't know, and I think it'll show on the field tonight that we're a little more in sync together now.
Now, you've been sharing the second base role with Willie Calhoun, but you've been very consistent. What helps your consistency with the swapping of the role with Willie?
Just staying focused every time I'm in there, every pitch, and not trying to do too much, not trying to make more of the play than I can, and just zoning in every play.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck to you today.
Thank you.
I'm joined by Travis Lawler, one of the coaches here in the Gatemen staff. Now, Travis, pitching has really been a struggle for this Gatemen lineup, and there hasn't been a defined rotation for pitchers, kind of throwing in everybody as a starter, as a closer, not really a definite order for the pitchers. When do we expect to see something like that come about?
Well, for something like that to happen, we have to see a lot of success out there, and the more success we can get, and then the more of a secure lineup we'll start seeing. But we got to start finding people where they fit. A lot of the guys on the team are used to starting, and right now we have some guys in the bullpen that aren't used to relieving, and we have some guys that are starting that aren't used to starting. And so the longer the season goes, the more we'll be able to start finding where we're supposed to be and helping guys develop in those positions if they're not accustomed to being there.
Now, you've had a few late additions to this pitching staff. How do those additions affect defining that order?
Oh, it should help tremendously, because giving guys a little bit more of a break, letting fresh arms come in, they can eat up some more innings and get more rest. That's the key to pitching. The longer rest you can have, the more crisp you'll be coming into your next outing, which will help, and it helps everybody else behind you. And so hopefully with the new additions, we can help giving some guys some more rest and get better on the mound.
Now, in the last 3 losses for the Gatemen, it really has come down to defense and pitching. What do you as a coach say to your pitching staff to kind of pump them up heading into this game against Cotuit?
No more added pressure. It's the same game they've been playing since they're 12 years old, and it's just mentally you got to be tough enough to go out there and you keep attacking the hitters, and you can't let the game speed up on them. You got to be able to go one pitch at a time, and you got to focus on execution.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, Travis, and you guys heard it here first. Expect to see more out of the pitching staff using that patient approach. Welcome on in to Around the Horn, episode number 4, and for this week's special feature, Mike Monaco and I are sitting down with Brock Hartson and John Bormann, the duo from UTSA, best friends off the field, teammates on the field, pitcher, catcher. We're going to find out a little bit what Brock knows about John and what John knows about Brock, and then we're going to see who has better chemistry, Mike and I on air or John and Brock off air. Now we're joined by the duo, and we're going to unveil just how well, John, you know your best friend, Brock. See if this friendship really is as strong as you guys do think. This is like marriage counseling. All right, so first question. What's his favorite color?
I'm going to say green.
Okay, next question.
Favorite movie?
Lone Survivor.
Favorite food?
Chicken fettuccine Alfredo.
Yes.
Celebrity crush?
Oh, what's her name?
Oh, I don't think you're going to get it. I panicked.
You panicked?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the one I know is the girl from was it Nicholas Sparks movie? What's the movie? The little blonde girl. Julianne Hough?
Julianne Hough.
Yeah,
That's
a
crush for sure.
Yeah.
Biggest fear?
I have no idea. Biggest fear. We'll go spiders.
That's pretty fearful.
Favorite teammate?
Favorite teammate, like back home?
Anywhere.
Sits with Blake Lacey on the bus, so he likes him.
Oh, get out of here.
But I'm gonna go with Wes Cox, one of our pitchers who just graduated back home.
His favorite professional team?
Houston Astros or the Texans, whichever.
Favorite sport outside of baseball?
I'm gonna go with basketball. It's pretty good.
Ooh.
Or football. Football's next.
Well, John, you didn't do terrible.
I didn't do good.
You didn't do terrible,
You got
but
your
there were a
50.
few
That's
that you
about
did
half.
get wrong.
Yeah.
About 50-50. So now we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to sit down with you, find out what you like, your favorite things, and then we're going to have Brock try and guess and see.
All right.
Unveiling round number 2. Let's see just how well you know John Bormann. All right, ideal first date.
First date? Dinner?
Oh,
Where?
Where?
Exactly. Simple.
No. I don't know. I was gonna go with McDonald's. I know it's
All right, question number 2.
Hidden talent. There might be two.
Juggling. He can sing and play guitar.
Bingo.
All right, first thing you do when you wake up in the morning.
First thing John does, he either goes to the restroom or he makes his bed.
Wow. This is impressive.
This is very impressive.
Lucky number.
15.
Yeah.
Walk-up song.
Johnny Cash, I forgot what it's called. You can run on.
We got a perfect game here. I don't think we want
We
to
do.
jinx
Yeah.
it. Favorite music artist?
Rob Baird.
Wow. Wow, he's showing you
I'm
off.
telling you.
Wow, this friendship must be a lot.
Lopsided.
Yeah. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke. I don't know.
That's all right.
Dang.
That's okay. You had a good
I'm
one
at
going.
85 now.
Favorite place to eat around here?
Minerva's, Mark Anthony's. Okay.
Wow, very good. So you got your friend a little bit more dedicated than yourself. You might have to reevaluate the relationship a little bit. But what we're going to see is Mike and I, we have pretty good chemistry on air. And I know you guys have good chemistry off the field. But we're going to see whose is better with a little catchphrase tournament. It's catchphrase time. We're going to do the category is everything. We're going to pass it between me to Brock to Mike to John. And we're going to keep playing to see who wins. Really smart people.
Genius? Smart ass?
At school, it's a major, kind of like building.
Psychology?
No, like smart people go into it and
Oh,
building
architects?
things. Yeah, but not that.
Rough start.
Oh no. Not Luigi, but
Mario.
She's milking the clock.
You say, hey, I need this. Like, I gotta go somewhere. I'm in New York City. I need
Directions.
one of these. No. It's yellow.
Cab.
Yeah.
Taxi cab.
Yeah.
All right, it's a movie with a fish.
Finding Nemo.
Couldn't have been easier.
We went down the road and we both got one.
Some lunch. Haircut.
Ooh.
Oh no. If you're riding, a big thing. It's brown and
A horseback riding.
Oh, good for you.
It's a place. It's a burger place in California.
In-N-Out.
An animal, not an alligator, but a.
crocodile.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
Oh, I knew that one. Bang. Oh.
Brock had troubleshooting his off the other day.
Yeah.
What was this?
Firecracker.
Heads up.
Oh.
All right, so 1
That's
to
one-
nothing.
We got
One
off
for
to a
y'all.
rough start.
We got
but
a rough
finished.
start.
What do
She
y'all
was
think?
milking the clock.
Yeah.
So it could be.
So we'll be team 1,
Okay.
and then this time, to be fair, you can start off because I took a while starting off.
All right. What was that? What was the one I skipped over? Oh, duck pin. I skipped over
It was
duck
civil
pin.
engineer.
I don't think he was down there.
That's
my
so
dad's a
specific.
civil
too.
engineer. We were down
What my dad does.
That's what my dad does. Okay, ready?
Sorry.
Was it good?
Not FBI, but
CIA.
And then-
CSI. CIA agent.
yeah. Okay.
That's quick.
Oh, if you go like tagging, they have pointers that do this. You can run around. They have,
Laser
like,
tag, paintball gun,
first word.
laser pointer.
Just
That works.
yeah.
You read one of these like when you're at a haircutting place.
Magazine.
Yeah.
Cartoon character has like a shield. This holiday celebrates this country. He's big, he's buff.
These are rough.
Captain America.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Hercules.
You put it on ice cream?
Chocolate fudge.
What's another word for
chocolate syrup?
No, it's not warm. It's
Cold chocolate.
a sundae.
Yeah.
Yeah, a blank sundae.
Ice cream.
Oh goodness. Not cold, but
Hot.
and
Hot
then-
fudge sundae.
Yeah, boy.
Oh no.
Hot fudge.
I'm a long distance runner, so I have.
Bad knees.
Cross country.
If
Shin splint?
you can go a really long time because I have.
Endurance.
Uh-oh.
Good. I was gonna say stamina.
What is this guy right here?
Cameraman.
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
That's one for the
All
good
right,
guys.
all right.
in the
This one
clutch.
is for all the marbles here.
Team
Best
2.
out of 3.
All right, you get started.
All right. Ready?
3-game series.
Are
Huh?
we ready?
Yeah.
Winner take all. Someone who has a lot of tears come out. They do this a lot. They are.
Crier.
Oh. What is this?
Hair.
No, what kind of hair?
Scalp,
What kind of?
buzz cut.
Boy.
Oh, not Mario, not Luigi, but
Princess Peach.
no. I think he's green.
Toad? No.
No.
Uh-oh.
I don't know that one.
All right, we'll skip it.
What was it? Yoshi.
I found my thrill on.
I got nothing.
Okay, so not a strawberry, but
Blueberry.
and then not a mountain, but a.
Blueberry top. Hill. Blueberry Hill. Sorry.
Oh, is this where Forrest Gump was? No, never mind. Something. What the heck?
Oh no.
Pick it up.
I don't know these.
Oh.
Oh, these are from outer space or
Aliens.
UFOs. Yeah.
Like a white thing that sneaks around and you don't know if it's there or not. Like think of Halloween.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Oh! This planet that got kicked out.
Pluto.
Oh no.
Uranus.
It came all the way down to the wire, but I think you guys outdid Mike and I. You know, we do have the on-air chemistry, but I think your best friendship and pitcher-catcher relationship in the end outdid us.
I think
Well-
so.
Well, thank you guys all for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week for another episode of Around the Horn.